Welcome. My name is Kara and I have a blog called iStampin.com, so that's where you can find me. I'm a Stampin Up demonstrator and I do these Facebook Lives each Thursday at 11 o'clock Eastern Time, barring sick kids or some kind of emergency, something like that. So I wasn't here last week, so I'm happy to be back. But I have this really fun project to show you today. I saw this on Pinterest and I just thought that it would be so much fun to share it with y'all. Sam Donald was the person that I saw it from, so I have to give her credit. But it's a little triangular box, and it actually can fit a pretty nice sized gift. So if you open it up like so, you can put some fun treats in there, some colored pencils, things like that. You can use your imagination and really fit in quite a bit of stuff in there. Now, I learned some things when I made this sample, so I'm going to tell you what I learned and what I suggest. So here, this little belly band just slips right on there. So just so cute, really simple, and it's just so nice and neat how the sides fold and stuff like that. So it's actually a really easy project to make. This Facebook Live really won't be that long. All right, so this is what we're going to make, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So the first thing that you will want to do is to choose your cardstock. And this is the first thing that I learned, is that you want to use our heavy-duty cardstock. This sample, I used our very vanilla cardstock. I mean, it works, but it's just not as sturdy as that. I know it can be if you just use our real, like our thick Whisper White cardstock or our colored cardstock. So I'm going to do something a little bit different for the sample, or for the presentation here on Facebook Live. And I am going to be using Soft Sky cardstock, and you will want to cut this to 8 by 11. So let's go ahead and use our Stampin Trimmer, and don't worry about missing, if you miss the measurements or can't write fast enough. I will have an accompanying blog post up later today, and you can get all of the information there. As well as I'll have an edited video of this. I'll edit this through iMovie and upload that up later to YouTube later today if you would like to watch that one. Hey, Emily, good morning. How are you doing this morning? All right, so I've just cut off a half a strip, so this measures 8 by 11. And then let's go ahead and cut our designer series paper. I am using the collection from Falling in Love. You can find this in our Occasions catalog. And here you can see that this is also one of the patterns. And I cut, or I didn't cut it, but I wrapped it upside down. So I'm going to give you a tip on how to cut the paper to make sure that the pattern is going the right way. And then also when I make the belly band, I need to make sure that the butterflies aren't upside down, which should be easy. But it never fails that when I'm cutting a pattern that has a true top and bottom, that I always cut it wrong. So I think I'm going to tell you right. So this is what I do. I always turn it to the side, and I cut the longest side first on the side. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to cut this designer series paper. We need to cut it 7 by 4.5. So I'm going to come here at the 7-inch mark, and I'm going to cut first. And I've got my print going sideways. And now I'm going to come in at 4.5, and that ensures that I have the pattern cut the correct way, because I always mess up. So if you follow this, it should be foolproof and you won't have to waste designer series paper. Okay, and we'll be using this a little bit later, but let's go ahead and do our scoring so that we can create the box. You will want to get out your Simply Scored scoring tool or whatever kind of scoring board you use. So we're going to start over again. So we're here in landscape, and we are going to score this at 2 inches and 9 inches. Rotate it, and now we're going to score at 1, 3, 5, and 7 inches. Okay, so we can put this away, but we're not done scoring yet. And if you can see this, we have 3 squares that are the same size. What we're going to do is we're going to come in that middle square and we're going to do some scoring at an angle, which will allow us to create this part of the box. Okay, so we're going to do that on the top and the bottom. So what you'll want to do is get a ruler, and the ruler that I have has a steel edge that really helps with making sure that I've got crisp score lines. But the first thing that we want to do is to come in that middle square, and we are going to place a mark at the 1 inch spot. Looks like I've got that lined up right. Okay, and so I'm just going to take my stylus and rub right there. You probably can't see that, but I've made like a little indentation. And so now what I'm going to do is line up my ruler from that spot down to this corner, and I'm going to make a score mark. And I go back and forth a couple of times, okay? And then I'm going to do it on the other side, and then we'll repeat the same thing on the other side of the cardstock. It's a little hard for me to see because I'm so far away from the mark, usually, and I don't want to put my head in the camera like I've done in the past. Oops, let's see here. There we go. My score marks may not be perfect, but I think it will do. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing over here. And it's so fun to create boxes just out of cardstock. It's inexpensive. If you mess up, you can just grab another sheet. And I always recommend, you know, if you have old cardstock, you know, practice on the old cardstock first. And then get out your good cardstock. And you should have plenty of success. Okay. Okay, so we've got both of those sides scored. So now what we can do is fold on all of the score marks. So have a bone folder and just burnish all those edges. Fold it the right way. And this could really make a nice little Easter box. The stamp set that I'm using has a really nice Easter sentiment. I may do that. I may make this like a little Easter box. So you could, you know, put candy in there, the little Easter eggs and jelly beans and all that yummy Easter candy that they have out now. So what we're going to do next is we're going to do some trimming. What you will want to do is remove these small rectangles on all 4 corners. So just take your scissors and we're just going to trim those off. And as I'm doing this, I'll just let y'all know that we are on the final days of celebration. That's if you're joining me for the first time, that's Stampin' Up's annual sale. So for every $50 that you spend before tax and shipping, you can pick out a free item in the celebration catalog. I did see that the tin that's in the catalog, that has sold out, so they will not be replenishing stock, so that one is unavailable. It is while supplies last, so if there's any items that you haven't picked up or have been waiting, I definitely would be choosing those items very soon because it's going to be slim pickings pretty soon. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is now we're going to cut the outer square all the way up to the score line on all four sides, and then we're also going to notch the ends. And this just allows the box to close a lot nicer when you notch it. So just kind of come at an angle and just take off a sliver, just like so. So all of the celebration promotions will be ending at the end of this month. So not only will the celebration items no longer be available, but the promotion that Stampin' Up! Has for if you host a party. So you know, if your party's at least $250, you get an extra $25. That will be ending, as well as if you want to take advantage of the starter kit and join my team, that promotion will also be ending, which is you're able to choose an extra 2 free stamp sets. So if you have any questions about any of those topics, feel free to reach out to me either on Facebook or on my blog or YouTube, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. Okay, so I'm just now folding back where we scored and just burnishing that with my bone folder. Okay, so this is how it's going to be going, like so. And the front, this side and that side are the exact match. Okay, all right, so the next thing that we're going to do is use our tear-in tape adhesive. You want something strong, and you're going to put adhesive on the bottom part of each of those squares. So let's go ahead and cut off 4 strips and attach that. Have y'all started getting ready for Easter? Gosh, it seems like these holidays just creep up on me. And before you know it, it's here. I've got spring break for both of my kids. They go to 2 separate schools in 2 different counties, so of course their spring breaks don't match up. So I've got one next week and one the following week. So it's gonna be fun to have the kids home. Okay, so then I just like to burnish the paper with my finger, and then I use like either my paper piercer or scissors to help me remove the backing strip. Okay. Come on, there we go. Okay, and so now what you're going to do is just build up your walls. You've seen me do this before, and if you make boxes yourself, it's just the same. I didn't cut this. I'm going to cut this edge a little bit better. When I'm far away, it's harder for me to see. I guess when I craft on my own, my face is right, right in front of me, or right in front of the project. Okay, so just match up that side. Okay, and we'll do the same thing on the other. Okay, and this last one. Yikes. Didn't do a very good job cutting there. Well, that will be the back. So then that fits like that. Okay, so what we want to do now is we want to use our corner rounder, and we're going to round these corners, and it's important to do that because it allows the box to fit together a lot better. It's a little bit harder to get the flap in if you don't round this corner. And I forgot to do something earlier before I put the box together, and hopefully it won't be a problem. Okay, before you put the box together, let's see, you want to do this step. So it's going to work, but I don't recommend doing it this way. So before you put the box together, what you want to do is to create like a little thumb hole right here. So I'm just folding the cardstock down like this, so putting the flap on the inside, I'm using my 3/4 inch punch, and I'm just going to cut a half a circle. And this, this should be, it should work. I don't think I'm messing up. Okay, so there we go. Yes, it worked. Okay. All right, so then what you do is you'll just pinch in those corners, and this flap is going to fit back right behind here, okay? So that's where having the rounded corners helps. And so just kind of have to manipulate it. There we go, at first. And this is where the thicker cardstock just works a little bit better than the lighter weight cardstock. So you can definitely use the Very Vanilla, but I think you'll like the weight of the thicker cardstock better. Okay, and then this just closes like that. So we have that cute little box. Okay, and so let's go ahead and decorate it. Move this stuff out of the way. All right, so we have our designer series paper that's going to make our belly band, and this measures 4.5 by 7. And what you'll want to do is just gently wrap it around the box, and you want it where the bottom or the two pieces meet at the bottom. So just kind of like that. And I was about to do it again. Nope, nope, nope. Okay, hold on. Okay, this is where I get myself in trouble. Okay, so this is the front of the box. Okay, so I want to make sure I've got my butterflies going the right way. And I'm just going to gently just kind of make creases around the box. You don't necessarily want to score, because you want the designer series paper to be able to slip off easily on the box. Sometimes if you score it, it gets too tight, and then it makes it a little bit harder to slide on and off. But what I do now is I just kind of come in and just make sure that my what I creased is just straight, because sometimes my lines can get a little crooked, just so that it looks a little bit nicer. So I'm just coming in and just gently folding. Okay, and this last one here. Okay, so this is the front of the box, because there's our little flap. And so we want to make sure that we've got the pattern going the right way. Okay, and then we're going to put the long flap on top. So it's going to look like that. See how easily that slides? Okay, so what we want to do is we want to put some tear and tape right here. Let's just remove that. And if you get a little too much, just curl it up on the ends. Okay. So again, making sure that I've got this on right. Okay, and then we can just match the ends together. And there we go, there's our little belly band. Isn't that cute? I love those butterflies, so pretty. Okay, all right, so the next thing we're gonna do, let's go ahead and do our stamping. I've just got a scrap piece of Very Vanilla cardstock, and this is the stamp set that I'm using called Sweet Sentiments. This is in our Occasions catalog. It comes in wood and clear mount. This is the stamp that I used for the sample everyone needs a friend like you. But I think I'm going to go ahead and do this one, this Easter one. I think that will be fun for Easter. So it says, may peace be your gift this Easter. So it's right here. Let me grab that. And I'm going to use a soft sky ink. And then we're going to do some die cutting. And then we'll be done. This is a really simple gift. If you need to make a few of these for, you know, church or friends or family, you know, your kids, it doesn't take long at all. Hey Diana, how are you this morning? I know, I love the butterflies too. All right, so I'm just coming right here in the middle and just stamping that. I know that's a little crooked. It's okay. So now we are going to do some die cutting. Let me grab my Big Shot. I'm going to use the layering ovals. I'm going to cut out a scallop, our Glimmer paper. One of the colors in this collection is Sweet Sugar Plum, so I'm going to use our Sweet Sugar Plum Glimmer paper. And, you know, this is one of the celebration items that's going to be ending. I'm so sad about that. So I'm going to be using, I think it was this oval, that size, and then the stitched shaped framelits, that's going to be the second largest oval. Yeah, that fits. Okay, so let me put this over here. Let me grab my Big Shot, and as pretty much always, I've got my magnetic platform, and I think, okay, so let me line this up and run that through. And then let's do the oval, and then we can put this together. Do y'all love the Glimmer paper? Oh my God, I would love to see more colors. Okay, so you can bring that back in so you can see how pretty that just layers right on top of there. And I'm going to go ahead and use tear and tape. Whenever I'm adhering things onto the Glimmer paper, I find that the tear and tape works really well. The other adhesive works, but it has a tendency to come apart, and I don't want that to happen. There we go. So that's going to fit right on there. Sometimes I have a problem making sure that I've got all the scallops equal. But that looks good. Okay, and then from here I'm going to use some dimensionals, and then we can pop that up on the cute little belly band that we made. I think my cinnamon's a little crooked. So I can re-stamp that and cut that out better. But like I said, I just don't want to get my head in the camera. So, all right, guys. And so there you go. You can see how easily it slips off. And then you just open it up using that little thumb hole, and, you know, like inside. Ooh, you know what would be really cute if you were doing this for Easter? If you used like the little grass and then placed your candies in there. That would be really fun, wouldn't it? Or like the little crinkle paper, if you could find it in a really pretty green, like springy color green. How cute would that be? You can like set up like little eggs where, oh, I think I'm going to do that for my kids. All right, so then you just close it back like that, close the lid, and then just slide that on. And it's going to work for me, right? Ah! There we go. All right. Oh, hey, Sue. How are you doing this morning? Oh, good. I'm glad you liked it. Thanks, Emily. I'm glad you liked it too. Do y'all have any questions? I mean, it's pretty easy. It's pretty straightforward, not too difficult. You know, you just want to make sure that your edges are nice, clean cuts. Mine aren't. Mine could be better, but when I'm doing it so far away from my face, I have a tendency to not cut as well. All right, guys. Well, if you have any questions, if you think of questions later, just let me know. You can comment here or head on over to my blog. And here, this is the first one that I made. So you can see the two. You can choose which one you like better. I do like this one. But if you have any questions over the directions or anything like that, just let me know, and I will be more than happy to answer your questions. All right, guys. Oh, good, Tammy. I'm glad you like it. It's really easy. It's a really attractive box. I love the shape too. All right, guys. Well, have a great day, and I'll see you live next Thursday. Bye.